Why, hello, everyone. I am Dark Devin. That's right, everyone. The Lords of all. And I am Dark Devin. And I also want to say is welcome back for another brand new video. And just so you guys don't know, that's by any chance. And by the way, that YouTube, by the way, also gave me a new something on the pretty much on the studios, like pretty much like gave me something new. So as like I said, that I myself am Dark Devin, am gonna probably be explaining about all that until I pretty much get to say otherwise. That yes, I know it's been a while, I could understand, and I fully pretty much understand that it's still again been a while. And as in for my other plans, that well, most of my plans were mainly go slow and slightly as they get catched. For more like with different ideas as I come up with different intelligent ideas. So, as I said before, that time takes time. As for such, but for now, I am Dark Devin. Am gonna say is that hopefully you all enjoy this video. Please be sure to give this one a like and comment and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified. And without further ado, let's go on ahead and explain what's going on right now on these studios of ours, on my YouTube studios. Anyway, let's go ahead and explain to know what this one even is and know what it means. Alright, so here's the first one what this says. And also, the name is actually called, by the way, is called, it's pretty much inspiration. And also, this means it's called explore and brainstorm video ideas. Ideas for you. Also refers to me and the other horror killers. So, what this is all about and what this means is that pretty much have to come up with the creative and most likely topic ideas to be creating the ideas. So, let's read the first one we have. So, again, a little bit about history about the horror beatbox battles. Well, as I can really tell about the horror beatbox battles thing, well, it was more likely an event for all horror killers, and then, of course, creepypasta, which I know it's going to be a little bit random or randomized, about with the horror killers being randomized. Like, Joker and Penguin are no longer going to be in there because at this point, we didn't add enough horror killers into the battle, so at least we only have a few that might be considered to be added up in the next near future that will also be doing another retake, but even different, which I'm not very sure what the future's going to be holding from my ideas. We'll just try and see and what fortunately happens. So, let's see what this says on the first one. So this says horror beatbox battles. Freddy Krueger versus Jason Voorhees. Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees, two ironic horror killer villains, are pitted against each other in a brutal beatbox battle. Their signature sounds and chilling personalities are brought to life through rhythmic vocal imperation, creating a unique and forgettable crash of the Titans. Damn, that is insane, but Titans. Interesting. So this is what this actually says. The intro and setup was also called Introduce the Concept of a Horror Beatbox Battle. Explain the rules of the competition. Two beatboxers represent Freddy and Jason specific rounds. Jiggling Arena, briefly announcing the beatboxers and their backgrounds, highlighting their connection to the horror killers. Man, like I said, this is pretty interesting, though. It's pretty interesting. Alright, so let's continue on reading the next one. So, this says about character backstory and themes. So, this also says dive into the iconic horror elements of Freddy Krueger. So, it has with the e.g. dreams, nightmares, sharp claws, and Jason Voorhees has a machete. Crystal Lake, Unstoppable Force, and of course, this one is called Explore the Physical and Physiological and Physical Attempts of each character, translating them into beatbox sounds and rhythms. Highlight the contest themes of Freddy and Jason, physical torment versus physical treatment and threat, and how they will be reflecting in the beatbox performance. Round one is called the Scream. So this one was called Scream. The first round forces on the signature screams of Freddy and Jason show clips of their iconic screams from the movies, and analyze their audio characteristics or whatever. The beatboxers recreate these screams using physical techniques and sound effects and rhythm to catch their endurance. Round two, the theme song. The second round challenges the beatboxers to recreate their theme songs from their respective movies. Analyze the models and the instruments or whatever, and overall elastics of their theme songs. The beatboxers showcase their activity and skill by replacing the song through beatboxing using human vocal lines or whatever. So, like I said, most of that was getting pretty interesting. But so far, let's see what the third round introduces us. So, this says the battle. The final round is a free for all where the beatboxers showcase their skills and battle it out using unique sounds, rhythms, and vocal techniques. The beatboxers combine elements from both characters, creating a philosophy and terrifying beatbox experience. The judges' examinate cafeteria are explained, and the winning beatboxer is announced, celebrating the ultimate horror beatbox champion. So, as I could say, the first one was pretty interesting. Now, the second one we'll read here is right here. So this says right there. So it says, from the shadows to the spotlight. Meet the contestants. Introduce each beatboxer, showcasing their unique skills and stage something. Highlight their Halloween experienced inspirement, costumes, and characters. Play a short clip of each beatboxer's signature sounds and style building application. The rules of the game. It's not for the faint of heart. Explain the challenge format, improvising the horror themed beats and sounds. Introduce the judges, experts in beatboxing and Halloween horror. Mention the prizes, adding a layer of excitement and competition. Yes, the battle begins. A series of screams show each battle capturing the insanity and energy of the performances. Highlight the activity and originally the beatboxers who are inspired beats. Use slow motion shots and close ups and stimulate the details and emotions. All right, so it says the Everact, who will claim the title of the Halloween Horror Champion. Reveal the winner, acknowledging their skill and activities. Yes, showcase the judge reactions, highlights the excitement and expense, and with a call to action. Encourage viewers to show their surprise performances and stay tuned for Halloween content. aftermath behind the back at the beats. So it says show behind the scenes footage of the beatboxers preparing for the battles. Introduce interviews with the beatboxers discussing their inspiration and excitement. It says provide a sneak peek into the future of the horror beatbox battles, generating excitement for of the upcoming events. Well, just to let you guys know on that idea, that you may never know what happens into whatever's going to happen. So, if you guys are excited to see the something that would be about the about the horror beatbox battles thing, well, to let you guys know and to be completely fair and full honest, that yes, I myself am Dark Devin. I'm going to be the one to know how most of that's going to happen. So, again, we just may never know if there's ever going to be a season 2 or not. It depends on, however, that we'll get some horror characters that we might be the one, just to try to make the excuse a little different, exactly, because, well, I mean, Joker and Penguin are not horror killers. They're literally just like they're just like villain Gotham City villain thugs, but not to be in this horror beatbox thing, which they weren't supposed to be in there. But honestly, it was just like no choice to deal with it anyway, and just kind of literally just deal with it on anyways. But speaking of deal with it on anyways, that we on the other hand are gonna probably be fixing that in season 2, just to make things a little bit more reclaimed fixing ways to reclaim the fixing, which I mean, none of them weren't bad and all. It was just that we just have to like redo most of the same thing, but with different vocals and different beatboxing sounds, but with different stuff going on. So yeah, again, that's just what's been going on recently. So now, let's just get on with the next part. So, the next part we have here for number 3 that we have is about me. So, it says Dark Devin's scariest horror game moments. Oh, yes, it's about me. So, it says Dark Devin's most terrifying moments in horror games are complex and presented. You'll experience the chills and jump scares that made Dark Devin scream in his most recent gameplay sessions. All right, let's see what mine is about. So, let's take a look and read. So it says introduction. Start with a spooky intro sequence and a capitative voiceover, briefly introducing yourself. Dark Devin, that is me, and the concept of the video. Highlight the importance of horror games in creating terrifying experiences. Now, the scariest jump scares. It says right here. So it says highlight the most ironic jump scares in horror games. Discuss how these jump scares are designed to maximize player fear and anxiety. Share personal, whatever this word even means, about your reactions to these scares. So it says, unsettling Elascope. Focus on games that build tension through their sound designs and virtuals. Use specific examples like Silent Hill or Outlast. Describe how these games are used as scroll to create a constant scene of dread, disturbing narrative and lore. Analyze horror games with captivating and unsettling narratives. Showcase examples like like Analysia, The Dark Ascent, or SOMA. Explain how these are added to the layer of fear to the gameplay. Now it says conclusion. We create the most memorable horror game moments shared in the video. Ask viewers to share their scariest gaming experiences in the comments, and with a call to action for viewers to subscribe for more horror game content. Oh, yeah, that's right. So, that's all I could probably say for the third one. Now, we just got like a few more to read, and then that's probably it. So, here's this fourth one that I actually will be showing you guys what this is about. So, so this says the history of horror beatbox battles. So this says the evolution of horror beatbox battles is explored from its humble beginnings to its constant popularity. The video showcases iconic moments and features interviews with moment beatboxers who have shaped the whatever, I guess. So it says the beatbox organics of horror. Early examples of beatboxing in horror films like The Exorcist and Nightmare on Elm Street. How beatboxings pretty much like rhythmic or something, and exclusive or whatever nature created a sense of an unrace and expense, exploring the use of beatboxing in early horror video games. Now this says a beatboxing battles, a new era of horror entertainment. So it says the rise of online beatbox battles and their impact on the horror franchise. So it says the embrace of beatboxers specialize in these creating horror themed sound scraps. How these battles pushed the boundaries of what was possible with beatboxing. So this one says horror beatboxing. Pretty much says beyond with the sound scrape. Use the use of beatboxing in horror music podcasts and other forms of media. The role of beatboxing in create more immersive and terrifying audio experiences, and the impact of horror beatboxing on contemporary artists and the genre itself. The future of horror beatboxing. And it says the productions for the future of horror beatboxing and its personal influence on the grammar, the potential for beatboxing to create new, improved horror experiences, the evolving role of beatboxing in the horror community. Now, it says call to action, engage, and explore. Encourage viewers to share their favorite horror beatboxing experiences, promote related content and channels for further exploration. Leave a comment to let us know what you think about the future of horror beatboxing. Well, that is sure is pretty interesting. Now, ourselves for the last one that we'll read right here. That this says, give me a second. I'm gonna just drink some for a minute. All right, so this says the horror beatbox battles, fan submissions. The channel's most described fans are invited to submit their own beatbox battles, featuring their favorite horror characters. Their creations are then pretty much and showcased, provided a unique blend of creativity and horror. So this says right here, it's called Intro and Hype. Welcome viewers with a high energy intro setting the stage for the horror beatbox battles. Fan submissions event. Briefly recap the success of previous horror beatbox battles and how excited the community is for the special fan-focused episode. Highlight the creativity and and talent of the fan submissions received and the application for the upcoming battles. Damn, that is crazy. Now, this says on the fan submission showcase of round one, introduce the first round of submissions and emphasizing their demise, diverse horror themes, and introduce beatboxing styles. Play each submission. Highlights the creative use of vocal effects, sound design, and storytelling through beatboxing, providing insightful community on each submission, discussing its strengths and unique something. Now, this one's called Judges Panel Commentary. Yeah, commentary. Introducing the guest judges for this round. Highlight their experience and relevancy to the horror and beatboxing, pretty much something. Get reactions, insight from the judges on the showcase fan submissions. Improvise the originally and technically powers of the concepts or whatever. Discuss the cafeteria they are using to evaluate the submissions, a technical skill, creativity, and adherence to the horror theme. Fan submission. Showcase round two. Tension smoothly to the second round, showcasing the remaining fan submissions with a familiar approach as the first round. Highlight the evolution of the horror themes and beatbox styles, diminishing the diversity or of the commentary of the community's talent. Continue encouraging the judges, getting their reactions and analysis of the second of round two submissions. Wrap up the final thoughts. Wrap up the showcase highlights the most impressive submissions submissions right now and showcasing the best moments of the battle express to the fans for their whatever, I guess. Encourage them to keep creating the submissions for their work. Close the video with a call to action. Encouraging viewers to subscribe, like, and share the video to support the community and spread the love for beatboxing. So, that's pretty much what I want to say right now. And speaking of what I want to say right now, is I'm going to explain about the history about the horror beatbox battle thing. So, anyway, let me just do this for a minute. Alright, so here's a little bit of an interesting history fact about why was it called the horror beatbox battles. Well, just because there's a horror beatbox battles doesn't mean that this is going to be a different version. So, the history of horror beatbox battles. Yes, yes. So, in this reason why about horror beatbox battles, by the way, is because, well, it's just going to be something different, you know? I mean, the old saying goes is that we definitely did this project for a little bit likely and slightly for a bit much of a video project idea. Just to call it the horror beatbox battles. Now, why was it called the horror beatbox battles? Well, and this reason why it's called the horror beatbox battles is because it's pretty good, you know. Because at this point, it was actually pretty amazing, you know. It was actually pretty amazing for best likely that it's just like, well, it was pretty good actually. Like, it was actually like pretty good. And as in for all of that, by the way, that yes, we definitely did make the episodes all the way exactly. So, as in for this case, that Hold up. I'm just trying to look on for the episodes from the beginning of its numbers. Oh yeah, there's like the rap battles and then beatbox battles. So here's what this was already about. And the reason why it was called the Horror Beatbox Battles was that, because, it was just trying to be very creative, you know? Like, I was trying to be honest with y'all that it was just trying to be creative and be amazing. So, the episodes we already did, basically, that we just did like 1, 2, and then 3, and 4, and then, yep, and then there's going to be 5, and then 6, and then 7. Yep, there's 7, and then let's see, there's 8. Yep, there's 8, and then 9. Yep, 9, and then 10. Yep, there's 10, and then here comes 11, and yep, 11, and finally 12, and then 13, and yep, and there's gonna be 14. Yep, 14. So all I can say, by the way, that yeah, the final battle were actually just to be like, let's just be honest, by the way, that Jason Voorhees and Pennywise were the only two people that were actually going to be facing against each other in the horror beatbox battles. Well, just because that they were the only two people left to be facing off against each other for the big crown of the champion, which one of them were actually about to take the crown for the gold, which obviously it became pretty slightly in a different review. So in this case, the horror beatbox battles are supposed to be very interesting and very much for fun. So that's pretty much what I would have to say by now. And also, is there going to be a reaction version of this video? Well, probably. I mean, as myself, as my dark self, yes, I probably will be the one reacting to the video soon, but not very soon. It'll just only take its very benefit of its time, and then the reason of it, of how much the work it was being put into, and all other stuff. So yeah, that's exactly why I was just putting all this stuff in, so that way things would even make more sense. Now, a little bit of the history about the horror rap battles. Well, as in for this reason why it was called the horror rap battles, well, let me just say it and put it out this way. That, the reason why it was called the horror rap battles for a reason is because, it definitely did have the same people up here again. But yeah, it just did have the same people again, but more likely a bit similar to be different. So yeah, the horror rap battles was pretty good and very interesting. So yeah, the only people who were in the finale and who were the last people remaining to be left in the finals was Chucky and Freddy Krueger. That both of them were actually about to claim the prize to win the horror rap battles. And also, will there be ever a season 2 of both versions of them? Well, to be honest, that yeah, there probably will be in the near future to have that happen because we need to have like most likely 2 more horror killers to be joining right in. I mean, since Ghostface is the one who probably is going to join with the killers, so yeah, Ghostface actually will count to be actually put up in there. And then, as in for like another creepypasta, it's going to take some time, just time for other characters to be filling in their formats, and we'll also be fulfilling their contracts, and we'll also be redoing another rap battle season, but also it's going to take place for the same season of number 1, but actually will take the prize for season 2, actually. That season 2 will even get more and more different and even better, but more roasting and then more actually like, roasting each other back and forth for most of their time. So yeah, it just probably does take their time anyway to do all this crap and all this stuff, which I mean, I'm not saying it's crap or anything, but all I'm just saying, it just takes its time and format differently, so the way that most of that would make even completely sense. So, with all that being said, I am Dark Devin. Just please be sure to give this video a like and comment and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified. That way you do not miss a single video that comes on this channel. So yes, by any chances, I definitely wanted to give you guys an explanation what's going on about what the inspiration even means right on to the side on the pretty much on the YouTube studios. So that's all I want to give you guys that update, and that's just all I want to say. But for now, I and myself am Dark Devin. Thank you very much for watching. Please be sure to give this video a like and comment and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified. And just as in for now, I on myself am Dark Devin, that well, there probably will be a future coming up soon, or a little bit somewhere around the clock, or maybe we decide the decision and do it from there. But like I said, things like I said is going to take a while and a long time to do season 2 with the horror rap battle season 2 thing, and then of course with the horror beatbox battles of season 2. Well, most of them are going to be the exact same thing, but the different results are remaining different results. Because I mean, we cannot have Jason win again, or pretty much Chucky, or Freddy Krueger, or Pennywise, because one of them is actually pretty much the closest ones to be the victorious and the victor. That one of them were pretty close. That four of these people nearly almost won horror beatbox battles, and the also one of them were about to win, nearly likely to win horror rap battles. Yes, that there were like four predictions. That four of them were in the two predictions. That one of them were close to win victorious. Now, if one of the worlds was switched, by the way, then yes, Freddy Krueger and Chucky would be the only ones winning in horror rap and horror beatbox battles. And then it comes to the same thing with Jason and Pennywise, that one of them will have to win victorious again, but they might have to try to win in horror rap battles. So yes, there are pretty much more predictions and more unanswered questions about two of these projects that were pretty much likely there, but there probably will be the same projects as we're going to be fulfilling season 2, likely to be revealing season 2 in a different moment, or a different slightly of its time to have its use of it being ready. So, just want to let you all know that I am Dark Devin, the most powerful evil of all the lords. And without that being said, is thank you for watching. If you want to see more new videos like this, then please be sure to give this video a like and comment and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified. That way you will not miss a single video that comes on this channel. And don't forget that there will be one horror killer that will also get to join with the horror killers. Now, Ghostface has already been added because I mean at this point he's already going to be filling the place to like replace the Joker. Which, yeah, he's going to probably take Joker's spot because, I mean, Joker and Penguin are not going to be the only ones going to be fulfilling to actually to be continued to do season 2 because they're more likely going to be discontinued from this horror channel. Because the reason why is because, well, we were just running out a bit of ideas to have which new characters that would have fulfilled the join in the whole season and stuff. With like season 1, and then now it's going to be season 2, which I know it's going to take time and development and stuff all over again. And there'll probably have to be some musics and all other stuff and all the rap stuff. So yeah, that probably will take a lot more longer than it'll have to take again. So yes, the answer is that Joker and Penguin are going to be discontinued from the horror rap battles and the horror beatbox battles because they're villains, not killers. Which I mean, they were going to be killers to go after Batman, but I mean, for other stuff, that's going to be like continuation and collaboration problems, which that's going to probably be a due problem of the fact with it. So, with all that being said, I am Dark Devin, the most powerful and the most evil of all the lords. Thank you very much, and I say again, thank you for watching. And also, thank you very much for taking the time to watch about the history of the reason why about the horror rap battles and then the horror beatbox battles, which even though I didn't talk about the history of the horror rap battles session, I was only talking about the horror beatbox battles just in case for that. Now, without that being said, thank you for watching. And without it being said, and likely that I am Dark Devin, I'll see you guys again next time. Thank you very much for watching. And without that being said, I will see you next time. And I myself am going to get going. And thank you very much for watching. And yes, I am definitely am going to give a phone call to somebody, by the way, who was like the previous judge, by the way, from last time. Now, also will give the same person a phone call while trying to do getting like season 2 and stuff. Which I mean, I'm saying it's not now. It's only going to be like 2 new surprises that's going to be filling the replacement of Joker and the Penguin. That one of them are going to probably be coming back. They're more likely going to be discontinued with no return and no response returns for them to actually be returning back. So yeah, that's probably going to be another excuse that I actually will be talking about anyways. Now, with that being said, I am Dark Devin. Thank you for watching this video. And also 4 more things to do, by the way. And also, please be sure to give this video a like and comment and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified. That way you do not miss a single video that comes on onto the horror channel. Anyway, with that being said, I am Dark Devin, and I'll see you soon in the next time and then in the next video. Peace out and goodbye. Dark Devin is signing on out. And thank you again for watching, and thank you for taking the time to know about this new thing for YouTube, by the way, that I just didn't even know on our studio, the horror channel studio, that we just didn't know. But for now, we just did. But anyway, with that being said, I am Dark Devin, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye, everyone. Bye bye, everyone. See you later.